Welcome to Providence Human Services of Florida. Today I'd like to take a moment to give you a brief tutorial on completing the PHS timesheet for salaried non-exempt team members. The form may come to you already populated with the pay period ending date, or PPE, and the dates of the work week. If it's not, begin your pay period dates in work week 1 and include the PPE date at the top of the form. Our pay period ending dates are always the 15th and the last day of the month. I'll use the 15th here in our example, and I'll take a moment to go ahead and populate the dates. As I stated, if it did not come to you already populated, feel free to go in and enter the dates yourself. There we go. Now this form is completed in exactly the same manner as the hourly timesheet, with the exception of the other leave. I'll get to that in a moment. And this hours of this pay period in this cell, if this cell is not completed, don't be concerned, and you're not required to complete it. This is simply a reference point for those of us that are reviewing the timesheets. In this particular pay period, there are 11 regular working days. At 8 hours a day, it's going to be an 88-hour pay period. It's not necessarily going to be the number of hours that you worked. It's simply a reference point for those of us reviewing. Now to enter your times, the start and end times for your day, you're going to enter the time and then a space and then an A or a P for AM or PM. I'll go ahead and complete the first line here, 8A, 12 space P, 12:30 space P, 5 space P. And as you can see, the form calculates in military time and then converts it to regular time here in the total week 1, 2, and 3 boxes. And these are what pull down here into the summary box. And this summary information is what is pulled into the template and then uploaded into the payroll system. So don't be concerned if you see that these hours don't seem to match here. This is military time and this is regular time. I'll go ahead and complete a couple more lines. Now you could see, I'll go back one moment here. If you have entered a format that the cell does not understand, for example, if you entered 6 without an A or a P, it's going to try to assume, and you're going to get odd hours here, or you'll get this value. That just means you need to go back, check your times, check the formatting that you did, the space and then the A and the P. Okay, if you took leave time during the pay period, then you're going to indicate that here under other leave code. This is the one exception where this is not the same as the hourly team members. Because you're salaried, the leave codes will be entered here, and it's going to pre-populate with 8 hours each time you take leave, as that is the allowed increment for salaried team members. If you worked a part of any day, you'll be credited for the work day. So you would simply enter the actual hours you worked as usual. I'm going to go ahead for my example and just use an example of each of the leave codes so you can see how they are pulled down into the summary box. And as you can see, it doesn't matter whether you use upper or lowercase. Uppercase is easier to see, but the cell doesn't care. It's simply looking for the letter, and it's going to pull holiday, and it's going to pull vacation, and it's going to pull sick. Then any other leave codes that you use are going to pull down here into other, and we'll simply reference the letter that you used up here to determine the type of leave that you took. I'm going to go ahead and complete the balance of the pay period, and I'll copy just for the sake of time here, some time from above. And if work week 1 is split between 2 pay periods, as this week is, you will need to enter the number of regular hours worked from your prior pay period timesheet into the box here in the upper left-hand corner. Now this is going to be regular hours only. This will not include any sick, vacation, overtime, or any other types of hours that you were paid in that pay period. You'll find those hours on your prior timesheet here under week 3, regular. These are the regular hours from your prior pay period that would be included with these regular hours to determine whether or not you worked over 40 hours in a work week. As a non-exempt team member, you are eligible for overtime. So although you may be getting paid your regular salary every pay period, we ask that you enter your times here in the event that you do work over 40 in a work week, and then you can receive your eligible overtime. So for this example, let's say you worked 16 hours on Monday and Tuesday in the previous pay period. You're going to enter that 16 here. It's going to add to the 26, and the result is 42 hours. That makes you eligible for 2 hours of overtime. So you can see it takes your 26, gives you the 2 overtime, and then the balance goes to regular. If you worked 20 hours of time in the previous work week for that Monday and Tuesday, that's going to result in 46 hours. Again, here you see your 6 hours of overtime, and the balance goes over here under other, under regular, and there's your 26 hours. If you only worked 8 hours, then the full 26 is going to show here under regular, because the 26 and the 8 together did not result in over 40 hours in this work week. And again, you're being paid a salary rather than these actual hours, but they are used to determine whether or not you have any eligible overtime. Now, if you have any mileage, phone reimbursement, or on-call, make sure you include it here at the bottom of the form. You would want to include your mileage reimbursement form as backup, your phone stipend form, as well as a copy of your phone bill, and then any on-call paperwork that you receive from your supervisor. Make sure that you sign and date the form, and that your supervisor signs and dates the form prior to submission. If you have any questions at all on how to log your hours due to working odd hours, overnight shifts, or if you have FMLA or anything of that nature, please contact your AA and she will be happy to assist. This concludes my presentation today on the salaried non-exempt timesheet. Thank you so much for your time.